Hey everyone, SycraStream here, and welcome to the SycraStream for the month of August. Now, you may notice that this isn't a weekly SycraStream, and it's because in the last SycraStream, I had a Patreon goal that if I got $1,000 of Patreon support, I would do weekly streams. And during that stream, we went back down under 1,000. So there's no more weekly Sycra streams.
So not
Probably a patron was like, if this is what it's gonna be like, I don't want any part of it. Subscription canceled. Alright. So today I am joined by my special guest, Bob Meatbag.
Hey.
Pasteletta.
Hello.
Flavia. And myself. All right. So, what are we going to talk about today? I don't know. I am reading the chat, and the chat doesn't get saved. But for people who are curious what a chat is like, oh, hey, it's Cynics. Oh,
Hey.
Mark.
Well, Cynics appears.
Oh,
All right.
snap.
So for people who don't get a chance to see the type of questions we're getting these days, here they are. Pussies, hey, 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 dicks, rip, dicks, hello, jump scare, yay, Pastelletta's back, Windows 10. This is it. Great questions. Leafy is better than porn. Horseshoe is better. Just talking about fetishes, whatever.
That's
So
fine.
yeah. Anus, keeping it real.
Yeah.
So because of this, I am no longer looking at the chat. So
What?
I mean,
How are they going
look
to
at
ask
this, look
their
at this.
hard-hitting anal questions?
Look at this. Are they going to ask real questions? If you want to ask real, fine. I'll keep the chat up for a bit, and this is retarded. These comments. Sorry, everyone who's leaving comments that are not retarded, but some of
Well,
these
now that
are
I'm here,
really.
I will
really dumb.
expect a little decorum in the chat.
All right. Let's have some decorum, whatever decorum means.
It's about dicks, right?
Alright. So.
There's a reasonable question by Green Sky. Do you have an anus?
Yeah, see? This is the level.
Well,
this
that,
is what it's turned into.
I can answer that for him.
That's such
No.
a philosophical question.
Okay, go ahead, Cynics.
Yes, he does not. He lost it.
You lost it in the Skeleton War.
Got blown out.
Yep.
Okay.
So, Pastelletta, what are you drawing? It looks pretty cool.
It's an anus. I mean, August moth. I don't know.
Alright.
I'm actually not drawing an anus for once. I haven't drawn an anus. Well, I drew an anus the other day in stream, but people didn't like it because it was a boy anus, and I was like, y'all see me draw
Oh,
girl
you
anuses
drew
and-
Vishal?
Huh? Oh, yeah, probably. I mean, it was pretty similar looking, I guess.
Alright. How are you doing, Cynics?
I'm
How's
great.
life been treating
How are
you?
you doing?
You know.
Congratulations on reaching your Patreon goal.
And then?
What?
You didn't hear that I lost it, like, right after?
Oh. Well, that's okay. Well,
Oh, sorry.
it's a matter of getting there once, I guess.
It's okay. It was like a thing that happened.
And I saw a real question. Someone asked when your Pointy Chin series was back. Well, if you subscribe to the Patreon, there's a Pointy Chin series every month.
Phoenix,
Heck
thank you.
yeah.
You are like the wingman, or whatever it is called.
Wing cynics.
Mm-hmm.
Another real question. Kolvich asks, how do you get precision when your hands are unhealthy shaking? How can my work look professional when my lines suck? Also, I was trying to learn painting, but you also need precision.
Well, first of all, painting, you really don't need precision as much. I would, if like you just have a serious problem with your jitters or whatever is going on in your hand, your tremors, then maybe painting is what you should be sticking to, because obviously line art requires a little more finesse, but painting you can always use the biggest brush and just kind of carve in and out of things, and it's a lot more friendly for that.
Yeah, you've been doing some really nice paintings, Cynics.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
I look really good.
I've been very impressed.
Well, we have a whole video about that, like painting like a sculptor, so
It's true.
Yeah.
maybe should check that out, maybe.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know how to draw, I don't have my reference up, I probably should get a reference, but I don't know how to draw a moth thorax, so her butt's going to look just a little bit weird.
You don't know how to draw what?
A moth thorax or butt.
Oh, a moth
Like, you know,
thorax.
yeah, is it the thorax or the abdomen?
I think
He's
it's
judging me, he's a biologist, and he's like, you're getting it wrong. I don't know. But yeah, this thing, this fluffy, you know, moths
But
have
it's
fluffy
not a
butt things.
thorax, right? It's a hammer that Thor has?
Maybe. Her name is Thor now. Beautiful.
I think it's a bow and arrow.
No, it's obviously a magical girl wand. Duh. I mean, that's the manliest weapon.
Can I ask a serious question?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
Bob's hands work yet?
Where
They
do
work on sketchbooks, not so much on tablets.
Oh.
Wah, wah.
Why do you think the tablet doesn't work, Bob?
Hand position. Like, when I'm drawing on the tablet, it's easier to hurt my hands. Whereas if I'm drawing on the sketchbook, I can angle it in a way that I'm in a less harmful position.
Why don't you just angle? Okay, here's the thing. I've never been one of those people that draws on my tablet like on a table. I always draw with it in my lap like a sketchbook.
Yeah,
Oh,
same.
okay. I could try that, see how that works out.
Like with my Cintiq, well, I had a Cintiq 13 and now I have a Huion, whatever the hell this is. But I always had it set up like that it was tilted because I can't draw flat. I have friends that can draw flat, and I'm like, how do you see properly? How do you make it not look like crap? But
Practice.
practice. Good job.
Yeah,
You
drawing
did.
on a flat surface is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's Ricardo.
Hey, Ricardo,
Oh.
Yo,
how you doing?
hey man, what's up, guys?
Oh.
What's up, Ricardo? Ricardo's been killing it in the art world.
I'm alright. I'm alright.
Slay.
Yeah. Ricardo's doing amazing stuff.
So Cynics,
Yes.
the Bobs. Hey Bob,
Oh, hey, Ricardo.
what's up, man? Long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Are you gonna draw for us, Ricardo?
I don't know.
Think
don't know.
about it. Michael
I like
Gugu asks, "Does Bob like Jonan Vasquez?" I'm kind of vaguely curious about this.
Jonan
Oh.
Vasquez.
No, is
What-
that it? I'm
what-
guessing
what-
that's
what-
no.
What's Jonan Vasquez?
He's a comic artist popular in the late 90s. Made
Oh, okay.
Invader Zim and all that stuff.
Invader Zim. I vaguely recall seeing some clips of it on TV or YouTube, but other than that, I don't know much about him.
I think I see. I mean, it's vague similarities in like the type of way you draw.
Hold on, let me go check it out. Invader Zim.
I mean, his like more of his own personal line style and everything. But anyway,
Help, feet are hard.
That was a real thing? Or that's a question?
Oh, no, well, it's probably someone else's question too, but I just suck at feet. And I want to have her have like cute, fluffy feet, but it's not working.
You know, you need to study The Lord of the Rings.
The Lord of the Rings, because oh, that's true. I could make very nice, fluffy feet if I started studying Hobbit feet.
Mm-hmm.
And their
Someone is
fingers are
saying the
pretty
drawing
beautiful.
is looking good so far. I don't know which one, if they're referring to Flavia's.
I doubt it.
Well, it does look. I was gonna say I really like how you do the spines, freaky, and I love it.
Yay.
what are you making there, Flavia?
Cauliflower salad.
Cauliflower salad.
Don't forget the mayonnaise.
Oh, is that Flavia drawing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen Flavia drawing.
I do.
You're missing
I,
out.
Sometimes.
I
Sometimes.
like that.
Thanks.
Is that Sycra, right?
That's how he looks when he wakes up in the morning. Goes for coffee.
Um,
With that.
Someone called CS Repraved is asking, have you ever been overwhelmed while finding a process? I've been drawing traditionally a lot more lately because I have a set method, while digitally I get frustrated by options.
I don't know, just kind of. I'm actually going through this myself. Like I've been trying to find a process that works better for me because all I really know how to do is paint, honestly. But like doing cell shading, I keep changing my method and everything looks completely different. I mean, if you look in my gallery, everything, like you can see each picture almost looks different, like how, I don't know, but I think the best thing to do is just find what's comfortable and also looks best, I guess, because that's just kind of obvious advice, though. Does anyone have anything better?
Oh, no.
Yep.
I've never been overwhelmed by finding a process. I don't think so.
I think you can get distracted by finding a process, but not
Yeah.
overwhelmed.
I don't know. I think processes help. I mean, they can.
I think it's definitely more of a thing when you have you're going for a stylized coloring look or something, because there's so many ways you can do it. But like when you're doing realistic painting, again, there's a lot of ways you can do that, but like there's kind of I don't know, I feel like there's more clean cut method to that. But,
I don't think any of us are really story people, but Tsubaki Hyuga asks, any tips on storytelling? Real answers, please, and thank you. My only tip for storytelling is that you gotta show some vulnerability. Show some, like, open up some vulnerability. That's what people relate to.
Yeah.
Personal vulnerability people enjoy. Find a way to work it into stories.
yeah, definitely. Well, stuff that you have personal experience with. I mean, there's a lot of fantasy situations you're not gonna have personal experience with, but at the same time, like I don't know, the emotional issues of the characters and the struggles they had, you can like take from your real life because you've experienced that and stuff. So you can write it better than like a situation you don't really understand, I guess.
Is anyone here actually working on a story?
I've tried and I just give up. I'm just gonna find someone else to write shit for me.
Okay. What about you, Sycra? Aren't you working
Are
on
you
a story?
cynics?
What's that?
Are you working on a story?
No, not right now.
Oh, okay.
I've never really worked on a story.
Oh, really? But you have like.
I make premises for the most part, and then I
Ah.
never really bother to make stories.
Yeah, same here.
Someone's asking why you're not mean anymore.
Well, because Sycra is not drawing. What am I supposed to make fun of?
I'll draw. Ricardo,
Yo.
are you working on a story or anything like that?
No, I'm not working on it, but I've been studying it a lot lately, actually.
Oh
I've
yeah.
been going through some. You guys know who Brandon Sanderson is? He's a writer. He wrote the Mistborn series.
Did you say Miss Porn?
Mistborn, yeah.
Oh, Born.
Mistborn. You guys know that?
No.
Well, it has some really cool lectures on YouTube about. Well, it's more directed to writing, of course. But they're really fun to watch, and you learn a lot about, especially about story building and storytelling. So that's a good way to go to do some research.
Research is always key.
Weren't you doing it, Sycra? Like your.
Yeah,
you're
you're still doing the story.
Okay.
It just takes forever.
Yeah.
How is that coming along? I haven't heard any updates on that in a long time.
Yeah, it's not something I'm really planning to do updates on. It's something that it's really long term, and I'm trying to get it right, and it's going to take many years, and I have no interest in rushing it.
But you're still working on it.
Yeah, I work on it maybe a couple times a week.
Okay.
Not like a full-time thing, but
Someone has a question I want to answer. Evan asks, is doing more fan art as opposed to original art a better way to grow a following as an artist? And I mean, I did this when I was starting out, so I thought it would be kind of relevant. I'd say yes, but the thing that I really recommend is make the fan art unique, like make your own versions of stuff. So like, don't just draw, like say you want to draw Pikachu. Don't just draw Pikachu. Draw Pikachu in a very unique situation, like, I don't know, a Pikachu in an airship or a steampunk Pikachu or just something that's, like, because there's a million fan arts of just a standard character.
Disney princess.
As a what?
Disney princess.
Yes, like that. Well, I mean, like,
Name.
exactly, basically. But I don't know. It's like it's a lot better to make something that's more unique because there's thousands of pictures already, and if you just draw the same picture, like the same picture everyone else is doing, then
I think the most unique thing is actually not to draw a Disney princess, but to draw a Disney princess as a prince. Like that's really intelligent.
yeah,
and clever.
genders.
Like you could try switching up the gender. You know, it doesn't have to be a princess. Or if it's a prince character or any kind of male character, I think like the best types of ideas are switching it up. Like try something different, try something exciting.
Put some tits on it. That's my method.
Or
Everybody knows that's my method.
you have a Pokemon, right? That's cool, like Pikachu. But try and imagine what would Pikachu look like if it was a sexy girl, like a human sexy Pikachu. Like you just got to be really original like that. That's probably my best idea.
Super original.
Advice.
That's my entire career right there, literally. I was drawing sexy Pikachus in college, and people were like, "Well, shit, I like this. I'm gonna pay you." And so yeah, that happened.
You having fun rendering that butthole, Sycra?
What butthole?
Okay. You want to play like that? Okay.
Visho Nanam. What's his name?
Namani.
Namani. And his mouth. This is a mouth. It's not a butthole. Right, Visho? The mouth. We know.
Well, I was using SycraStream to read the chat, so I'm not going to read the chat anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I could just switch it because I'm not really drawing anything worth anything.
You sure you don't want to finish that thing up?
All right.
No, I'm kidding. Please
Blow
go
it
back
out
to
a
the
bit.
chat.
There. Chat. Radhika Patel asks, how did you get used to talking to an audience?
You don't.
Wow.
Is that anything you have to deal with?
That's the question that stumped us all, and we all got really quiet.
But I used to talk on my streams, and then it gave me too much anxiety. I can do it like maybe once a month, like now, but it's yeah. But I don't know. It's a lot easier if you start out with people you're familiar with. But at the same time, I don't know. Depends on what kind of person you are too. If you're an extrovert, it might be easier. But if you're a freaking nerd like me, that gets nervous over everything, then it's harder.
Ricardo, do you have any plans to do streams yourself on like stuff?
Yeah, I want to, yeah. But it's been hard to find the time to do anything, actually. But yeah, I have so many things I want to do, and like streams is one of them, for sure.
Are you still doing your other job though?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm on break now until the end of August, but yeah, I still do a couple of hours a day.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you something that you probably have insight on, which is just what's it like when you're transitioning into like getting more jobs, and what's your day like in terms of time and stuff like that?
Get more jobs?
Mm-hmm.
Like art related jobs?
Yeah, art related.
It's I'm actually suffering from it right now.
Right. Yeah, that's what I meant.
I can get. No, but I don't. I'm still finding the answer though, because it's been a mess. It can get really, really confusing really quickly, and sometimes, I mean, I found out that I can't schedule for anything. I still don't know how much time it will take me to do something. I can never predict on what will be changed, and I can never do a plan. It's frustrating. It always ends up taking more time, or and to choose. Then it's eventually you start having to choose about like between jobs, and that's the hard part too. You're always thinking which one will be better. But I mean, if they're like big projects, like they will span out for a period of time to take the commitment, and then but maybe there's this one thing that can come up, or that someone talked to you about that eventually will come, and that's kind of hard to juggle though.
Zero is asking, how long did it take you to get good enough at art to get jobs?
Well, I can say I started, like, I committed to this 4 years ago. Like, I want to make something out of this. And 2 years in, I started to get some small little things. Yeah. I never really worried about it. It just kind of happened naturally, so I can't pinpoint it exactly, but yeah, something like that.
Cool. Someone's saying, getting stressed over art, considering that art is supposed to be fun.
You don't get stressed over anything that's supposed to be fun, because if you're trying to do it well.
Yeah.
I mean, like a Monopoly.
Hmm.
I love that. It's the most stressful thing in the world.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Tyler's Art Shack. It's a while since I've seen you. All right. Right. Yatuki, that's when we saw the potential anime has for opening doorways through time. That changed our concept of what anime is and what it can do for us. It showed you how to understand time.
Wait, what?
Watching too much anime. Well,
Is that that was an actual chat question?
yeah.
That was a question?
No, it's not a question. It didn't have a question mark at the end.
Okay, then.
It exists, but it's not a question.
Oh, Sycra, should I paint something? I would paint something.
Yeah, you should paint something, because you paint well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna paint as fast as I can. I'm gonna share. Where's my screen? Du.
Okay, someone, Joseph Yoon asks, do you think the cost of a Cintiq-like tablet is more or less than the cost of traditional art supplies like paints and canvases?
I would
think
say
if it's
more.
oil paint, it's less. But if it's like acrylics,
That's not true.
I spent
Well,
a
it
lot more than
depends.
$2,000 on oil painting.
Yeah,
Then you weren't getting a good deal.
depends on the Cintiq too, right?
Come down to Robert's Acrylic and Oil Warehouse, and we'll get you the best deal on all the oil paints you can get. It'll be great. You need some canvases, you go to Home Depot and you get free cuts on pieces of wood. You could get 50 canvases for $10.
What? Really?
That's what I
I
do.
made canvases from Home Depot stuff, and it was a lot of stapling.
No, you go get the mason, like the what's it called? The really thin hardboard.
Masonite.
I mean, it's masonite. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they give you like all the free cuts you want, so you can get it cut down to like little canvas size from one big sheet. And it
Yeah,
still only costs like $10. You can get like 50 of them.
Yeah, but you still have to justify.
Yeah, but come on, it's like you're coming in at like less than like 25 cents a canvas.
Yes. Yes. What about brushes though? And paint.
Well, that's when you just get your dog hair and you collect all the dog hair.
Never dog.
Okay, here. I have plenty of that.
Okay, what should I paint, Sycra?
Oh, this is so much pressure. I think you should paint what you think a Ogset moth is.
A what?
Ogset moth. Like
You say
I'm not gonna explain what it is because that's the whole thing. You have to interpret it.
I know, I'm just trying to understand the letters that came out of your mouth.
A U G S U T. Ogset, S-U-T, and then M-O-T-H.
Okay, so it's a moth.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Or you could draw an anus moth, either or.
Anus moth, right? That's what you said.
Yeah, yeah. That's the actual prompt.
Well, this sounds horrible.
Okay. Out of curiosity, is it true that Synops has 2 buttholes?
Actually, it is. How'd you know that? Did I say that
I
on?
heard a story of someone who had this. And then they had to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Did they get ripped a
It's a
new one?
blessing
Or
and a curse.
I
A burden.
No, I think it was like a congenital issue.
Hmm.
Like a real one, not even joking. Anyway,
Oh my goodness.
Sycra, did you try other people's style while developing yours, and have you tried copying the style of people in the stream? You may not know this, but the entire pointy thing is just me trying to be cynics.
I thought you were gonna say Joe Madureira.
Ooh, using big words like a Madureira.
I don't know how to say his name actually. Joe Madureira.
John Madden.
Like
Football.
John Madden. John Madden.
Madureira.
Hey.
Madureira, that's how you say it. Madureira.
Did she say it?
It's a Portuguese name.
Is it?
Yeah, well, from Brazil, it's still Portuguese. He has
Oh,
Brazilian.
Madureira. I mean, wait, how do you say it?
Madureira.
Madureira.
Madureira, hey, Madureira. That was a Brazilian folk song.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, that guy who was asking the anime thing. This is the question. What do you think about the potential anime has for time travel?
Train travel?
Yes, train travel. It was time travel, but train travel is much better.
I guess eventually we'll just have like giant anime girls that you sit on their backs and they
Oh,
go
God.
on a rail. I don't know. That's probably someone's.
I will let you know something. It's a secret. I am currently traveling through time 1 second at a time.
Oh, that's hardcore shit, man.
Someone's been smoking. I forgot what I was gonna draw. But these don't really work. I don't know why I asked you to say something. It's not like they work when you say something. They only work when you don't say something.
Oh, it's back. Internet. Sorry, I'm using crappy Wi-Fi.
Oh,
It's not even me.
Yeah, you're a good wife. Um, oh, I get it. So this anime person is saying it's about what you order your story and describe what you want to experience. So they're being like very metaphysical.
oh my God.
But why is that limited to anime? Wouldn't that be the same for books and anything? Anyway. Nene asks, Sycra, how many different accents can you do? One. It's a crappy one. That's it.
Which
I can do
one?
crappy.
Did you say Dothraki?
Yes, I said jobs for Acme.
I'm busy. But can I get a hand, please?
Oh, just a second. Be right back.
Do that black person accent you always do.
You okay? What did you feel?
What's going on?
I don't know. Stuff is going on. I think we're supposed to just continue.
Oh,
Yeah.
nothing's
All those
happening.
awkward situations.
Come on, Sycra, do your black person accent.
I don't do a black person accent.
You do it all the time.
Black person? I do Indian.
No, you do a black one when no one's around.
Do you mean this one? I don't do this all the time, but once in a while I do this one. But it's not so good.
I was
Yeah, I don't-
joking to make you sound like a racist, but then you actually went for it. So now I feel bad.
I sure stepped in it. All right.
Sorry to interrupt and sorry I left, but my boyfriend has something wrong with his eye, so I'm gonna go help him with it. I'll be back.
Okay, you deal with that.
Yeah.
I hope he's okay.
Okay.
First blood.
Dear. All right.
Weird.
Well, meet back. What do you have to say about what is going on currently?
Not much.
And Ricardo.
I don't know. I don't have anything
Fabia,
to say.
any thoughts?
About what?
I don't know. I'm just trying to be inclusive, like, make sure everyone gets to talk.
Here's a question I want you guys to answer.
Yeah.
What's the most difficult art job in terms of skill? Do you guys think?
Contact artist.
You think so?
What?
I know
Which one?
so.
Which one? I didn't get it.
I don't think it's harder than comic book artists.
What? Comic book art? Any idiot can do comic book art.
No.
No, I mean good comic book art. No, it's hard.
Well, now you're
Really
talking.
hard.
Is
Like,
it?
Yeah, I think it is. Like,
Is it?
What about animation? I think that's
That's
hard.
for dummies.
Oh.
it's in
Come
terms
on, they
of
outsourced that
skills.
stuff to like Romania.
The question
Come
is,
on, concept art, you just get a photo and just bash it a bit, and you're done.
Okay, I'm back.
See,
We
that's
just had to
my
push
face
it out
make-
with water.
You have to
What?
push it out with what?
Push it out. Push it out with water.
Yeah,
Oh, with
it's
water.
fine. Yeah,
Oh. Why?
so it's all good. Alright,
Okay.
we thought it was like a hair in his eye or something, but I don't know. I think it might have been like some kind of particle. I mean, it's dusty as hell here, so it's probably dust or something.
Where are you?
Arizona.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's friggin' desert. Middle of desert. It's gross out here. It's really nice in the spring and winter though, but every part of the year sucks. Yeah, what were we talking about?
Someone was asking what the most difficult art job is
in terms of skill.
in terms of skill.
I don't know.
What do you think the easiest one is then?
My job? Drawing anime girls with tits for money. But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the easiest thing is like just being asked to draw the exact same thing that doesn't take that long, and yeah.
I think the easiest is being those colorist people. They just color line art, and you pay them very little.
Honestly, I would take a job like that. I love coloring. But, sorry. What were we going to say? Someone was going to say something?
Sorry, yeah, I was gonna say that people who are paid just to do flats on comic books, for
Oh,
example.
flatters. That's what they're called.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is that a thing? Flatters?
Yeah, there's an entire forum where you can hire flatters.
What? I don't even know if you're being serious or not.
Well,
I am being serious.
I am being serious though.
Yeah, see? Ricardo's serious and he said so.
They do exist.
It's like being a rotoscope artist.
Oh! Amira's not even here.
Defend her. Well, I think she admits that it's pretty dumb. You're basically just tracing stuff.
Okay. Tiny Tim asks, how do you stay positive about your art struggle with never feeling like you're living up to your full potential?
Start living up to
So I
your full
think that
potential.
question for you.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I assume that question was for you.
No, it wasn't for me.
Oh.
Why? Why would it be about me?
I don't know.
Not about me.
Never mind.
Oh.
Just
So
do
did you have an
that.
answer for them? All right, moving on. Luca Gegola asks, can Bob say hi to chat?
No.
Correct.
All
I don't
right.
have much to say to the chat right now.
Daniel Connect asks, question for Bob, do adult, and adult is in quotes, do adult commissions pay more the weirder and disgusting they get? Also, what terror are you gonna pursue now that your arms have fallen off?
Well, my career is, I'm starting out my career as an invalid. So far it's been going pretty good. My arms have been deteriorating. My legs have also been deteriorating. My back has also been deteriorating. So I think it's going pretty well. Let's see. I seem to have been coming down with some strep throat infection, and my immune systems are also starting to fail. So I'd say it's pretty good. Yeah, yeah. Like so far, I think I'm going to have a pretty good career as an invalid. So yeah.
Making a lot of progress. It's impressive.
I guess it's more of a question you can answer, Pastor.
Oh,
And by the way,
adult
for people who are
predictions?
watching this, the way I'm talking, like I say, like as or whatever, it's because I can hear myself through my headphones, so I pause sometimes when I'm talking. But anyway, moving on. Pasteletta, do you get
Yeah.
paid more the more weird the thing is?
Yes. Yes. Well, so one of my friends said, like, just basically the deeper down the rabbit hole you go, the more money there is. Like, the smaller the amount of people who will draw this thing are, the more likely you are going to get jobs. But the downside of that is some stuff can be pretty, like, really disturbing. But if you don't care, like, I have a couple of friends that, like, they don't really have, like, they just don't care anymore. Like, they care about their art, but, like, they don't really care what the subject is, and they make a lot of money. So, but I don't know. It's something you could handle, then yeah. But I don't know. I prefer drawing cute things. You know, I haven't gone down that route too far. Although Sycra knows a few of the weird stuff I've drawn, but yeah. So basically, yeah, the more niche you're willing to go, the more money there is typically, unless you go too niche, and then there's like no one who wants that. But yeah. So.
All right, that's a good answer. What is the most niche thing that you've heard, if it's safe to say? I mean, you
Oh, there's so many. So many, because like they're all different. But I guess the most niche fetish I've heard, and it actually is safe for work. It's just ridiculous. But it's dizzy, swirly eyes. Like you guys know, when anime girls get dizzy or like they fall over, they get those swirly eyes.
okay?
Well, like there's
Okay.
a guy who just only draws that, and also he edits real life photos of girls to have those eyes. And it's like this. He was like, "This is my fetish."
It's hot.
I don't know.
I didn't even know I had a fetish until now.
Oh yeah, I've given you a fetish. Congratulations. Welcome to the big boy world.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. But yeah, there's plenty of really, really weird stuff.
All right. Dirks McGee asks, have you ever felt like your art skill has actually gone down? I feel like I'm worse than last year.
I assume this question is also for Sycra.
Well, yeah, that one was this time, but I decided to put it into a more general question.
I've never
So,
felt
so
like
the question
that.
is that they feel as though they
They've actually gotten worse.
Okay. I think Sycra's answered this before. Either your eyes have leveled up, or maybe you've just gotten rusty, in which case you just need to keep going. Because it's going to happen. Sometimes you might get bored, and then because of that, your muse disappears, and then you get less interested, and that subconsciously causes you to draw worse. In which case, for me, when that happens, I just have to search for something new to draw, some other type of muse, whether it be to I don't know, just discover something new about myself, or just to look for interesting things in the world. In any case, it's going to happen eventually, and then you just have to work through it.
Well, personally, for me, I found like before I started my job, I was doing both realistic and anime, and so when I started doing only like simple anime pinups, I definitely started. I can hear myself. Sorry, it's kind of freaking me out.
Yeah.
But
Wearing headphones, so
I can
not
hear
me.
you with
He doesn't have headphones. I have mine.
echo.
What's going on?
bad.
He doesn't have the headset.
It's not me.
Hmm. So I have my headphones on too. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no more echo.
Echo? No echo. Light
There's
echo.
still some echo.
Still hear echo.
I do too. So.
As long as it's not too bad, I guess.
Okay, sorry. Anyways, like, yeah, since I stopped, I didn't really have much time to do realistic painting stuff until I had, like, made myself a schedule to do so. I did definitely get bad because all I was doing was anime. Like, simple anime stuff, like, not even detailed anime stuff. But just gotta make sure you have time for both practice and fun stuff or work stuff, if your work is like mine.
Okay. Hmm. Why can't people afford a half-decent mic? Because they are artists. They're working artists. That's why.
Hopefully, eventually, I will like.
Don't like this drawing.
You like it?
I said I don't like this drawing.
Well,
I don't know where it's going because I was trying to force it into some kind of bug thing, and I don't know. I don't want to draw, but it never looks good when I try to force it.
Paint.
Paint explore.
Paint explore. Yeah. Sorry. Are you gonna paint explore it?
I should. Be more fun.
Why don't you do so?
I will do so. Flip this bitch upside down.
Oh snap!
There we go. I'm inspired.
Hopefully.
What this could be.
Someone's asking, how do commissions work?
I could go on for a long time about that. I've actually thought about making either a video or like a tutorial thing about that. Usually, yeah.
There you go, everybody. Tune in to Pastelletta's video on how commissions work.
How commissions do things. But usually,
Oh, sorry.
huh? Well,
I keep interrupting you just when you're about to explain yourself.
it's okay. Explanation, I don't know. Basically, just get money from people and then you draw for them. Oh, isn't that a revelation? Oh, keep the pro tip right there. I don't know, like that's the thing is I don't want to start because I feel like I would go on for hours because I have like I don't know all this stuff to say about it.
Maybe you should make it like a Patreon thing.
Like how to pay me to teach you how to get money. I feel like a lot of people do that, but I don't know. I feel weird about that because I'd rather give it out for free because I know there's a lot of people like me who either couldn't get a regular job or whatever, and I just, it's a huge market, and I don't know, like, I'd like to give it out for free just to help people.
That's very nice.
Help my brothers and sisters and other gendered siblings. The Potatokins.
All right. I actually changed my thoughts on this. I used to think education should be free and knowledge should be free to anyone. And seeing people has changed that. I now believe.
Have you met people?
I now believe education should be accessible to anyone who deserves it, but not education should be free. Because I think it doesn't seem to be valued when it's free. And I think back to myself and how, yeah, I got a lot of information for free, but I also really worked, and I paid people for courses and things, and it's like, well, I valued it. It was hard. It was hard to come by.
Yeah.
So when I say education should be accessible, it's like, well, it shouldn't be behind a paywall necessarily, but you should deserve it, and that doesn't mean necessarily you have to pay for it, but there has to be some kind of effort, I think, that
Maybe
you
not
put in.
deserve, maybe earn it.
Earn it.
Because
Yeah.
deserving is like, oh, it's an innate thing. And
No, I don't think it's innate. I
Yeah.
don't think that at all, but more like, oh, you've done something, you put something in,
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should just make it like a secret Google Doc and just give it to people who actually want it, but I don't know.
yeah.
Or make a Gumroad thing, because then Gumroad you can pay whatever. But I don't know, I kind of feel that way that like if I haven't like paid for something or if I didn't put a lot of time into it, I don't end up using it or something. Like even like not art stuff, like things that you get for free, you just don't care about them, I guess. But
Like in the old days, if you're an apprentice and you're studying under a master, you would have to clean the studio and wash the brushes and stuff and just do menial labor. But I don't think that's actually a bad thing. Seems like it keeps people humble and
Yeah, and inspires
not
discipline.
entitled. Sorry, you were saying?
It inspires discipline.
Yeah, exactly. Vishal Namani asks cynics, what are your thoughts on Chinese brush painting like Henry Leaf? I don't know
I
if
don't
that
know
name means
anything
anything to you.
about it, to be honest. I don't know what that is.
Chinese brush painting?
Well, the guy, he said in the thing. I mean, I have some vague idea, but I don't feel knowledgeable enough to give an opinion.
Okay. Sabaki Hyuga says, when a great artist you admire says they hate their work, don't you want to punch them in the face?
that's not very nice.
Why would you want to punch an artist you admire in the face? Are you?
Must be another Sycra thing.
I don't know. Why would I want to punch cynics in the face? I'm afraid
For
I
reasons.
won't be able to clean up all the grease. Okay, never mind. If Bob had a parrot, would his
Oh, what's this question? Let's hear it.
Bob had a parrot, would his most repeated phrase just be the distant sobbing of women in the basement? Meshed with a soft.
If I had a parent, would it just be distant sobbing in the basement? Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate.
Why would it be distant sobbing? Why not just keep the parrot in there?
I
Any
know, if
company.
I had a parrot, I'd be more worried about the parrot than anything.
Yeah.
And it's like the parrot in Monty Python. It's dead.
You know, I didn't know this before, but I found out recently that parrots are actually tropical creatures. They aren't actually born in these small cages.
Man,
And here I was thinking
revelation.
they were in their natural habitat, and that it was all cool keeping them in that.
You're
cage.
learning more every day, Sycra. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
Great moves, keep it up.
Mom is proud of you.
Someone is. I like cynics. That's okay. I don't care. Doesn't even bother me. How do you feel about drawing fan art versus original art?
This is a question for everybody.
Yeah.
Fan art is boring.
For me, I don't draw fan art. I mean,
Yeah.
I've tried, but it's not for me.
It depends on what kind of person you are.
I'm with Bob.
But Bob, remember in the convention you sold a lot of the, what was it, My Little Pony?
My Little Pony. Yeah, I think so, but that's because. Okay, yeah,
Because
that's
it's
true.
relatable. They understood the
Yeah,
character.
yeah, I think that's what it is. There's what did you call it? Brand awareness or something like that.
Yeah.
Something to do with
Yeah.
brands. It's like okay, brand recognition or something like that.
Yeah.
People are already invested in some type of franchise or whatever, and if they recognize it, then it's like, oh, I'm interested in this, and they buy it. So from a marketing perspective and money-making perspective, then that's profitable. The problem, however, is for me, anyways, I really wasn't interested in doing fan art, and when I did do fan art, I twisted it in a way that amuses me, and then that's how I, sort of got an enjoyment from that. But ultimately, it was much more satisfying for me to make my own art, to discover, just for me, what do I enjoy? And I think if you're a person who enjoys doing fan art, there's a lot of benefits to that. You can make money. There's people that are going to be aware of you.
Yeah.
And if you genuinely enjoy it, then who cares? Or if that's just if that's just the career you want to go with, then it's fine. But if you enjoy your own thing, then I'd say explore that as well. It's good to be aware of what you enjoy as a person and as an artist. It's much more fulfilling for me, anyways, to do that. But it's good for both ways. Both have its advantages and disadvantages. For example, if since I'm doing my own stuff, there's less brand recognition. So if people don't really like it, then they don't really like it.
Don't you feel like there's a tag to go with it? Like if you do fan art for a certain amount of time, eventually you'll become the guy that does fan art. And
Yeah.
I think
you-
there's that risk when you go
Yeah.
do fan art. That's what you become known as, and as the
Yes.
more recognition you have for something, then that's what you'll be known as. You'll be known
Yeah.
as the person who does fan art, that
No,
kind of stuff. So
I
that's,
just say, sorry.
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying this because sometimes people do fan art as a like you said, like an engine to get recognition and a following, to eventually transition to do it their own stuff. But then there's that risk that people won't care and it will be all for nothing, sort of.
I think it just depends on what you want to go with. Because like for me, when I like doing your own stuff, you have to realize that's going to be an investment. It's not going to be an easy thing. Yeah.
Yes.
I think it is a good idea to just sort of be like you bring up a good point. It is a good idea to be aware of the risks. When you discover your own things, there's like I'm lucky in the fact that people seem to like my things, so that's a plus. But you are taking a risk. If you do your own things, what you'll get is something that's very personal, something that's going to let you discover by yourself, which is what art is. It's very personal and good for the soul type of thing.
Yeah.
But of course, there's always the risk that people might not like your stuff. But I still think it's worth it. That being said, it's fine. It's fine either way. It's like they both have benefits. Advantages.
Oh no, for sure. And if it's something you really want to do fan art, yeah, for sure. But there's that thing that particular situation where you use fan art to get your own stuff in, and it kind of backfires. I don't know.
I think one of the things with fan art nowadays is, in tons of cases, the people who make it aren't fans. Like the fan part of it has kind of changed. It's more just what is popular, and if I do this, I can ride the wave of this popularity.
Yes.
I think it's smart business sense.
Yes.
It's good marketing, but it depends on can you do that. Like some people, like for me, I really can. I've tried, and I have ideas. Like I want to do, I don't know, like X-Men fan art and redesign them and see to put my spin on it.
We saw how that went.
It just feels
I mean, yeah, I think that's a good point. It's like if you're doing fan art and you genuinely enjoy that, that's going to. Yeah, I agree. Because like it doesn't seem as though people are doing fan art because they really like it. It is seem as though it's just like, oh, they're doing it for the money.
Yeah. Well, and I think somebody do it because they think it's the thing to do. Also, like it's not even the thought process behind it. It's just what you do.
Yeah, I suppose in that case, then it's just about the question that you want to ask yourself. It's like, okay, what is my priority here? What do I really want? If you say, oh, well, I want to be good, I want to discover myself, and then you start just following the trends of fan art, then it's like, well, you're not being honest.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like, do you want to make money? Do you want to become popular?
Mhm.
Which has its benefits. I'm not saying that like you shouldn't do that, but it's just like be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Why is it that they used to call people who were male fanboys, and now they call everyone fangirls?
I'm not sure. I mean, I guess they're just trying to like assign the type of behavior as the same thing, which I guess it kind of is.
Fangirls
But
real. Like when you say somebody's a fanboy, you mean that they obsess and they stalk and they whatever. And when you say a fangirl, it's like like
Oh,
I don't
like
know.
whatever.
oh, so they're okay. So they're assigning behavior to the name. Okay.
Okay.
Because like fangirls are more, it's just like you just get excited, but fanboy is more creepy, I guess, which is, I don't know, sadly, I guess a gender stereotype thing. Like
Oh,
the
what?
guys are creepy or whatever. But I don't know. Blah.
Yeah.
But I had a couple things to say about the fan art thing that
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know, 'cause I'm really in between this, like that I love doing some kind of fan art, but that's a rule of mine. I never do fan art of something I'm not a fan of unless like someone convinces me to do a commission of it, which I rarely do. So that's why most of my stuff is like Pokemon and stuff, because I love Pokemon and I love like anthro Pokemon. But like I could totally just go out there and draw every single Overwatch character or every single World of Warcraft character and it's super popular. But I don't because I only like specific ones or whatever. I can
Aren't
only
there
draw
millions
males.
of World of
Yeah, it
Warcraft
would take you a
characters?
while to draw.
Well, I mean, like there's popular ones. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like just the main characters or League of Legends actually is a better
WoW
thing.
isn't
Like I could
even
draw.
popular anymore.
How what, League isn't popular?
No, WoW isn't even popular
Oh,
anymore.
wow. Whatever.
My favorite World of Warcraft character is Uzumaki Naruto.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
got
never
some
saw
good
you were
taste
saying
there,
that's
but that's some good taste. Uzumaki Naruto is my waifu.
Okay.
I thought
What?
exactly.
But what else was I going to say about the fan art? But it does help a lot. But the thing, I do actually have felt that personally that people don't care as much about my personal stuff because all I get asked to do is like people want more Pokemon stuff or more I don't know video game stuff, and they don't really care about my original creations. So that's why I'm trying to get together like a safe for work account that's just only original stuff. So if anyone actually likes my original stuff, they can just go there.
I have like a
I think
strange thing when it comes to fan art, because the things that I'm actually a fan of, I actually would never want to do fan art of it because it feels like it's done. Like, no, I'm a fan of something that is done. Like I really like the Final Fantasy VII designs, but I don't want to redesign them. Not the redone stuff, but the one from the game,
the boxy ones, right?
of the PlayStation game. I like it a lot. But I wouldn't want to redo it. And I really like Kill la Kill, but I don't have any interest in making a shittier version of Kill la Kill that I can just feel bad about.
Wow, I'd like to see you take on Ragio because she's one of my waifus, but
How many do you have?
I have a lot of waifus, okay?
You have so many.
So many waifus, all the waifus. But she's like one of my top 5 waifus, so. I'm embarrassing myself on the internet and I don't even care.
That's okay. It's called Weeboo, right?
Yeah, I was born and raised a weeboo,
Well,
so.
guess this stream got depressing now. Why? Oh, I ruined it? I ruined it. Okay.
Next question.
Okay. Oh, that's cool, thanks. I really like the addition of the character. It really changed the sense of scale.
Yeah. It's always
I like
good
the
to bring
colors.
some character thing in, just so people have a scale idea.
Yeah.
Like two good things you can always do when you're making your paintings and stuff. One is to either bring in a character, or the other one would just be to like, if you can't do that, just to bring in
Birds.
like birds. Yep,
Yeah,
birds.
see? The M
Yep.
birds.
Give it scale. It's very important to always have a scale in anything you do.
No. Especially when you're trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
Get those scales ready, people.
Oh, I got another one. Especially when you're a fish.
Oh, like it. Beautiful. It's very funny.
So, Little Chewy Nubs asks, why are you so adorable? Because I had this problem where I wasn't able to open doors, and then I was.
Good job.
Oh my God, you did it! Wow.
You done it. Congrats.
So, how is selling at the, what was it? You went to Cinex Anime Expo?
Yeah. I mean, it's great. Okay. I will say, when it comes to all this fan art stuff, like if you want to go to an expo, just do fan art, really.
Yeah.
Like we all, like me and Ross, and like we all had some originally, like stuff, but like unless they're already fans viewers, like no one's really interested in that stuff at all. They'll be like, hey, that's kind of cool, but when it comes to buying stuff, like people just want to buy stuff they know.
Yeah, definitely.
That's so sad.
I felt
Which
the
is
same.
fine. I mean, obviously, if it's just random people, who have no idea who you are, they're not going to see. They're either going to see something and just think, "Oh, that's a thing I don't know about."
Yeah,
One of the
yeah.
series, or whatever.
The worst thing was when they look at something original and then they like it and then they're like, "Oh, where's this from? Where's this character from?"
Oh,
And
God.
then you're like, "It's an original character," and then they kind of lose interest and walk away. Like, "But you liked it. You liked it.
Yeah.
Mm.
What
I
did you
think
show
it
up
says-
early, Seth?
Well, that's
This- Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
no. Go ahead.
Who's going ahead?
Okay, I was just going to say it says a lot about the current audience of today that they're just focusing on brands. It's like all the
Yeah.
media that they've been eating up. It's just like, oh, there's nothing specific that tailors towards them. They just go like they focus, especially with the people that are into nostalgic things, whether it be video games or I guess right now the trend is Pokemon or something like that. And it's just like, oh, they focus so much on their childhood nostalgia that they don't go beyond that taste. They don't develop, and it's quite sad because for an artist, one of the things that they inevitably have to do is that they show their work to the audience, and then it's just like, okay, what do you think about my work? And when the audience isn't focused on like just what that piece of art means to them, and they instead focus on brand recognition, it just I don't know, it's not a very good environment to foster the growth of an artist. But I don't know, it makes it more difficult for sure. I don't think anybody should give up, but it is, I don't know, it's kind of a peeve.
Sorry about the cats.
Oh, is that
That's
Saturday?
fine.
We have cat technology.
I have decided to be vocal.
I don't know. But yeah, I agree with that, Bob, and like, I don't know, that's kind of what, and maybe like the saddest part of my job is that, like, again, I am not really expected to do original stuff as much,
Mhm.
but I don't know, at the same time, like, the difference between that, though, is I feel like how to combat that is kind of do something original but make it more in, I guess, like a hobby, a sphere of hobbies or something. I don't know how to describe it, but so like I'm into like Japanese Harajuku fashion, and I feel like if you draw, there's actually there's a huge market for people who draw like cute girls in Harajuku fashion, like who want prints of that. I mean, I have a couple art books of that. and again, it's not necessarily original, but it's more original that you can actually put your own design in it. It's just based off a culture, I guess. And the same thing maybe with like, well, I know fantasy stuff and whatnot, like dragons, and it depends on what kind of expo you're going to, huh?
Like what you're saying is when you say sphere, like a sphere of hobbies, do you mean separating things or creating things that are kind of mixed? Like, oh, you're doing something that has a specific genre, a specific awareness of it, but there's still your own mix of things. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically, it's like it's aware of another a thing that's like a popular culture thing, but it's not necessarily someone else's copying someone else's brand or being brand recognition. It's just something that people are passionate about. But like furries actually, like furry, I'm pretty sure like there's a lot of furry original artwork that like people don't necessarily. I mean, now with Zootopia, yeah, there is kind of brand recognition, but there's like people buy original artwork there all the time, as long as it's of like a fox or a wolf or whatever.
So, Pascal, I'm curious about this. If you only had to pick two, which one would you pick? Like, would you pick the fan art, the fan art that's mixed with your own things, or just purely your own original work?
Like to get noticed, or just to do the rest of my life?
Because like I'd imagine that, like if I'm imagining if you use like if you had three of those, one where it's fan art, one where it's a mix of your things and a type of genre, and one that's purely your own. If you try to do all three, I'd imagine that that's sort of like that's very what's the word for it? Labor intensive. It's like you're juggling more than what can be done at a lot of times. I'm not sure if that makes sense.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
And
so like, so if you could only pick two, which one would you pick? I'm curious.
Well, I'd pick the original, and like the original that's just based off of, like I said, the kind of a sphere of culture, not necessarily a someone else's intellectual property. Because as an artist myself, I feel, especially as an artist that I'm living off my artwork, I do feel bad sometimes doing art based off of someone else's artwork. Like, it's just, because if I was like that, if I found out someone was taking my original character and drawing it for money, I'd be like, that kind of sucks. But at the same time, I've heard, so like people like Toby Fox have said it's okay to commission my characters. Like, it's okay if you do it like once or twice, but don't sell prints of them. And I don't know how every artist feels about that, but I don't know, personally, it's not fun to just only do someone else's intellectual property and like draw it in your style. It's so limited too, because then you're basically at the mercy of whatever is popular. Like Sycra was saying earlier, it's just they do whatever is popular. Well, you were saying too, actually, Bob. But so yeah, I would.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask what everybody else's thought about this was.
Yeah.
Like for you, Ricardo, it's like, what's your like? How do you feel about like I don't know, just picking like, because not everybody has that much time in their day to do like everything. Like,
what were the options?
Like there's the option to do like if you could only choose two things, like you could either choose your own work, like completely original, a mix of something where it's like it could be a mix of your own stuff and fan art, and once you twist things to your design, or it doesn't have to, or just something that people recognize except with your own twist, or doing just stuff like some fan art, basically like popular stuff.
Well, I do tend to like. I mean, for one thing, the things that I like, that I would do fan art would not get. I mean, they would not be fun for other people, I guess.
Right.
Because where I get my ideas or what I like to see or what I like to consume is not trending. It's not something that will trend right now. So that would be out of the question. Fan art, just for the sake of fan art, I can't. I hate it. So I won't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I would go with original.
Okay,
yeah,
so just original stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what you would focus on. What about you, Synex? You have experience in this?
I barely do any fan art. Very rarely do any fan art stuff.
Okay.
So I'm very content to just do original nonsense.
Okay.
Honestly, anytime I do fan art, it's like fun just because that's the like exception to the rule. So I do
Right.
enjoy it.
Yeah, if you
So,
do
like,
something that it's for the sake of being fun or ridiculous, which is a parody, that kind of could be cool. Sorry. go
Okay.
ahead.
So just in terms of sort of like when you do fan art, it's like it's to explore for your own sake, basically.
Or like, hey, I've never do fan art. It'd be fun to try to do fan art in my style. But it's always like in the context of just see what it would look like if I did it.
All right.
I had a question for you, Synix. Wait,
Okay.
never mind. My internet
Sorry
dropped.
about that.
I can't hear it.
Sycra had a question for Synex.
But his internet's gone.
Oh. Wait, I hear people again.
Yes. Can you
Okay,
hear us again?
so I had a question for Synix, and it was that, are you actually going to do a puppet show?
Yeah. I already started. I did that little. My design lab's up now on the Sycra.net forums. If anyone
you
wants
actually
to
gonna
design
do
a
it with,
puppet of Sycra wearing a Harambe shirt, now's your chance to do it. You can join my design lab and get a puppet made. But yeah, eventually the goal is once I figure out how to make puppets, which is why I'm doing this video, I'll make a couple puppets of my own and do a little kid show.
Are you gonna, I don't know, sew them?
No.
But that would be so cool.
No.
Puppets
I mean,
would be pretty cool. I mean, how often do you see
anyone want
those
to buy
nowadays?
puppets from a show? I don't know.
It's actually there's actually a Puppeteers Guild here in Phoenix, and oh my God! So they were at Phoenix Comic Con last year, and they were incredible. It was ridiculous. Like this guy handcrafted out of paperclay a mask mannequin and made him dance to all the songs, and like actually made him change his outfits and stuff. And then he also made a Groot that was like it was the like growing baby Groot, and he made it dance. It was ridiculous how much talent these people have, but it is so labor
Yeah.
intensive
That
though.
sounds crazy. I
Yeah,
imagine
it was
like one of
awesome.
those, what are they called, those hip hop battle things? The ones Costa likes, the popping and locking. And everyone's like, whoa, when they do a move, and the puppeteer will like take off the puppet's clothes, and everyone's like, no way, oh no, he did.
I'm sure there's something like that on YouTube already, or maybe this Puppet Guild has done that. They also had giant dinosaur puppets, were pretty cool. But yeah, the puppet thing sounds adorable, but I don't know. Like, I can sew, so if you actually want, if anyone wants a puppet made, maybe I can do that.
So what?
So what? I can sew stuff.
Don't listen to Sycra. Just ignore him. Ignore him.
Yeah, I don't. I'm bad at detecting jokes sometimes. It's detrimental in my relationships.
So
But that's
cool.
okay. I'm trying. Those are some nuts dogs out there. Crazy dogs.
All right.
What's your you got anything planned for the rest of this year? Any big projects? Anyone? Sycra?
My big project is watching you make puppets.
Okay, great. What about you,
So
Ricardo?
next-
What do you got planned?
Of my own,
Yeah.
right now, I don't have time for my own stuff. Well, I'm building up to it. I've been dedicating myself to learn more stuff. I mean, not related to. I've put in my mind that technical stuff I just have to do, so it's not even a question anymore. But learning other stuff, like I said, about writing, storytelling, yeah, researching, stuff like that.
Okay. Just basically studying and brushing up on your skills, right?
Yes. But things that most I don't know how to build up characters and not going to how artists do it, but taking it from other areas.
Mm.
I've been reading a lot lately, like novels, fantasy novels, sci-fi novels, historical novels. I've been reading a lot, and it's been really, really, really useful.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's
Sometimes you
definitely
have
good
to,
to do research. Huh?
yeah, and it's refreshing to not be like constantly looking for the same thing. Just vary the areas of knowledge. You can get a lot of stuff from different areas. So, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mm,
Tiny Tim asks, I struggle with a lot of mental health related self-hatred, so it's difficult for me to accept positive feedback for my art. How do I work on that? Because it makes me lose motivation. I have no idea.
I think
Maybe Flavia is good for this.
I'm good for this. I can't accept positive feedback for my art. I don't know. Maybe just disregard it. If feedback's throwing you off, just disregard it altogether. Like you're gonna have to pay a price either way. It's like fine, you're not gonna get the positive things, but you won't get the negative things. And if you're self-motivated, it should be enough. It's like you're gonna be self-sustaining, I think.
Yeah. I kind of want to do this where I just leave the internet for a while. But I can't because I have to make videos every week. But if I didn't, I would probably take a break because I think it's kind of harmful. Just the internet in general. These are my thoughts. Anyway, of course, it's not like it's altogether bad, but I think it's probably good to take a break from it.
Yeah, I think there is something to be said about because like with the internet, it's so open and it's just like there's so much information out there, and it's just like that information at times isn't even good. And then just to isolate and to insular yourself, it's like that really gives you time to figure out what you like to do, who you are, that kind of stuff. And for art, that's something that's very, I think, positive in terms of just helping your motivation and just figuring out what you want to do. I think everybody sort of at times just sort of needs to just be alone in terms of
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
think
see other
that's
people
something.
doing it, and I'm very envious because I made up this thing where I would make videos every week, and I've been doing that for years now. Like I haven't missed a week in many
I
years.
need a vacation.
It's not even like a vacation as much as it's just I have this cycle, and maybe people can relate to it. But it's kind of like I have periods. Long periods of wanting to be in like a hermit mode where you just stay away from everyone and everything and you just do your thing on your own. And then you get periods where it's like, oh, now I want to be more connected to the outside world. And now I show what I did. But the way it is right now, I feel, with the internet, is these things are stuck together. Like you're supposed to improve and also promote yourself at the same time, and it feels difficult for me anyway.
It is really difficult. I mean, I'm struggling with that right now because like I keep changing my style, or I'm trying to experiment with it and try and get better. But at the same time, because of my job, I am expected to keep the same style. I'm expected to keep the same kind of look and everything, and things I want to change that look, but you can't because you can't stop serving what's on the menu, you know. But,
I suppose that is one of the. It would be a downside of brand recognition, or just getting to be, people getting used to what you've been doing for the last little while. And I think that's probably why it's like for an artist anyway. It's just like if you are going to explore yourself, just like take heed. It's just like if you have an audience or something like that, just like be aware. If you're going to change something, if you're going to further yourself and go in some different direction, be prepared for that. There could be some backlash. Because one thing that I found out is that people, like the fans, like as long as you give them what they want, they'll act very grateful. They'll be like, oh wow, you're so great. But as soon as you change something, then they can turn on you. It's just, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I think people need to get into their head that artists are not your bitches. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like an artist is not like one who is developing themselves, who is strengthening themselves, does not have to conform to the whims of the audience. It is the audience who needs to understand that the artist is the one that's creating. And if you don't like it, then fine. Just don't go up to them saying, no, you have to be this or you have to be that. And I think for art on the side of the artist is just to be aware that there are going to be people who are ungrateful, who will be detrimental to your growth, and these people should be discarded. And then the people who truly support you will support you.
I actually wondered about your take on the cynics, because you had this where you took a long period of not really doing art, and then you came back and started again, and you've kind of been consistent, right? Like
I'm trying to be more consistent. Because every time I've taken a break or gone not done art for months at a time, I always regret it and I always feel bad about it looking back at it. Like I've never been like, that was a good decision. I'm glad I didn't do art. No, I've never felt like that. I've always been like, man, I wasted so much time doing other dumb stuff or not doing art. So in that regard, I'm like, man, I feel a lot better. I feel more productive. I feel healthier when I'm doing art regularly.
Well, I think that's an interesting topic. Just like, what is the relationship that you have with art? It's like, is it one? Because like for you, Senex, you took a break, and then when you came back,
Lots of breaks.
Yeah, you took lots of breaks. But when you came back, you did feel like, I'm guessing you felt more reinvigorated about it, right?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't know if it was like a help. It was more like oh, I've wasted so much time. Like I better get, I don't know if it's like oh, I'm so excited to start again. It's more like, oh my God, what have I done?
Right. Well, that's an interesting way to go about it. Because like for me, for example, it took me a long time to sort of just like art. But I think everybody has their different types of relationships and how they train themselves with art. For some people, it's going to be like, I'm going to waste a bunch of time, and then when I get back into art, I'm going to be so much more focused, because it's going to be like what Cynic said. Oh my God, what have I done?
Yeah, there is.
that kind of thing.
I can constantly look back and think of regret, and regret is my motivating force. Because I can look back and be like, oh, it's been so many, 9 years since started doing YouTube, and wasted most of that time, barely did anything for most of those years, and wasn't even drawing for a lot of that time. And it's like, oh, look at all the regret, and then that'll keep me hopefully not going away, or stay more focused.
Okay.
Because I know what the alternative is.
Okay. So it's fair to say that panic and regret is your motivator.
Yeah, definitely regret's my motivator.
Well, there you go, people. That's one way to go about things. Yeah.
I didn't know that, because I always considered, because I think you used to say something like, I didn't draw for a year and I got better.
Well, that is true. I'm not gonna say regret. I'm not gonna say yeah. When I came back, I always felt like I was better, and I usually seem to be better. But that's not to say I wouldn't have been better if I would have just done it the whole time. I mean, even if theoretically I would have gotten better without doing it, it still doesn't feel good to not do it. Even if that was the fastest way to get better, it doesn't feel it doesn't feel good. I don't feel happy, after a month of not doing art, even if it's oh, but I got better. It doesn't feel good.
But okay. I still think it's interesting just how different relationships can be with a person in terms of their art. Just okay, what motivates them and what they use to motivate themselves and to enjoy art and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Sycra, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen so I want to look at what everyone else is doing and stuff.
Okay. Well.
So goodbye,
looks like we're
Alcus, Amok, or whatever the hell you were. Whatever this thing is. Does it look like Amok? For the record, this design is terrible because it's just a round circle with a bunch of things coming off it, which I really hate as a design. But It needs
I
like it needs a bunch of
it,
editing.
except
Must look drunk or
if
something.
it's one of the 3 on the bottom or 3 on the top and not both.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was. It requires a lot of editing, but I was super lazy. So
Yeah.
anyway, goodbye. Thing.
Okay.
Goodbye, moth.
Well, bye to everyone because the stream is over. It's been an hour and 30 minutes. So I want to go ahead and thank my special guest, Bob Meatbag,
Yeah.
Castelletta,
Yay!
Avia,
Uh,
Ricardo.
Thanks, man.
Oh, there, at least that one's real. Senex,
Yeah, thanks.
and me.
Yeah.
And Sean.
And
You invited
everyone-
yourself?
What?
Said I want to say goodbye to my guests. You invited yourself.
Oh, I said bye to myself. Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you know my story, this makes
Oh, multiple
But-
personality jokes.
Anyway. All right, and thanks to everyone who tuned in live and asked your questions, and thanks for everyone who tuned in later.
So is this gonna still be? You said you didn't meet the goal. Is this still gonna be a weekly thing?
No.
Unless
The next
people
one
give me the
should
money.
be next month, at the end of the month, unless I get over whatever the Patreon milestone
Good for the
goal.
month.
Hear that?
But
Holding this.
don't feel like you have to.
Better donate some money.
That's okay. You
You
don't
right here, listening to this, Matt. You better donate some money, Matt. Open up your wallet, Matt.
Okay, Matt. I don't know who you are,
Do that.
but yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.